You think I ain't gonna play? You got to live! LHiV! See, you thought I wasn't going to.
I can't take
Oh, well.
I can't take what's going on, guys. This is Thunder.
And that's Phalcon. You know, honey, muscle got that mug rolled up, honey.
Working
Come
out
on.
too hard.
Yes. Okay, so this is our topic for today.
Yes, give me the topic. What's
okay,
the topic?
the topic is,
Okay.
let me see if you
I'm
can
ready.
flow with this one right here, honey. Steps to becoming open about your HIV status. Now, I know a lot of people going to have an issue about, well, why do I got to be out and all that? But I'm talking about encouragement without being out. Now, you want me to explain it?
Encouraging somebody without being
out and open about your status. Now, I know me as an HIV advocate, I'm out. I tell everyone about my status. I don't mind. I'll put it on social media. I'll go on TV. I'll speak about being HIV positive. There are some people who are not comfortable with that. So my encouragement,
a lot of people, yeah.
My encouragement is, they should find like an HIV/AIDS organization where they can help someone, maybe peer counseling or something like that.
But wouldn't that be like, if they're not out about it, they're going to do AIDS? Wouldn't that be like guilty by association? When people start knowing that, when people start thinking they're HIV positive, wouldn't that be the issue?
I think that some organizations, I know here at Nashville Cares, I'm sorry, I keep rolling my eyes back, but I'm thinking. But at Nashville Cares, they have where you can peer up with someone. Like, say, for instance, I'm undetectable and someone isn't undetectable. So maybe my healthy living can encourage someone else. I've been positive for 16, 17 years, and someone may not be, just got diagnosed. I'm talking about someone can go in and encourage. Now, they're not... They
have to tell their story, right? They would have to say they're HIV positive.
They don't have to tell their story. They can advocate for the person by telling their story, the person they're advocating for. They don't have to tell their story.
Okay.
Sometimes I feel as if you telling your story can help someone. Like,
I think it's
awesome. I think that like an alcoholic gets better understanding from someone who has faced alcoholism.
Okay, right.
Someone who has cancer gets better treatment from somebody who has went through cancer. So I say even for those who are HIV positive, be more encouraging in closed settings, because they're not always open settings like what we do, But I think there's always a place where privacy can be held, and you can encourage somebody to say, hey, you can live. And then they say, well, how do you know?
And they advocate for that, speak for
that
person.
Yeah. Even helping them take them to the doctor and stuff like that. If you weren't so public, how would you receive? Because I know a lot of people don't get into the whole us, because we tell it.
And that's fine.
And sometimes they don't post our videos because it's guilty by association. They don't want to wear the button because it's guilty by association.
They see it, though.
Yeah, but we have to make the conversation, because we are the community that's being affected by HIV and AIDS, and the most. I'm going to say that. Yeah, the most, because it says like we're 7 times more likely to get it than our white counterparts.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. So why wouldn't we sit and talk about it? So again, I think
you went somewhere else. You trying to?
I did. I'm sorry.
You going?
I'm sorry. I guess I'm really going back to encouraging.
Yeah, you're encouraging. I understand what you're saying. So they just have to be encouraging.
Would you encourage people? I mean,
how
would you go about it?
If I wasn't,
you didn't encourage, if you weren't public like you are, let me say this.
Well, even
before
I did, I think there was only certain people I told.
Why?
So, because I was comfortable with this. Whoever I told, I was comfortable with, and I don't know. I don't know. That's how I did it. I don't know. It was kind of under the table. I don't know. I just did it that way, and I was skeptical on who I spoke about. And then some people who told me that they were positive, I was like, oh, okay. And then I was able to say, okay, I'm positive too, and then help them like that. I knew I wanted to be open about it, but I was still scared. That stigma was still there.
I don't want people to think that I just, been out and like, hey, I got HIV. No, I haven't. It took a process. I first came out in 2007. Now, I've only been out 7 years about HIV, being HIV positive, but I've been HIV positive since 97, 96, 97. I found out in '97.
You forgetting now?
I found out in
I found
out in '97. Let me say that. So I don't know when I got infected. I found out in '97. So that's the reason why I said '96, '97.
No, when you got diagnosed?
When I got diagnosed
in '97.
Yes.
Okay.
So I have another question. Yeah, I know this might go somewhere else, but do you think it's appropriate for somebody to ask, "How did you get HIV?"
For me, yeah.
Like if somebody say, like you say, "Hey, I'm HIV positive," do you think it's appropriate for them to ask, "How did you get it?"
At first, it is a little annoying when somebody does at first when they ask it, but yeah, I think it is appropriate because I think there's different ways. I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with it.
I beg to differ. I mean, that there's something
I don't want. I'd rather somebody ask me than assume.
I don't think it's. I mean, personally, we all know how you get HIV.
But there's different ways to get it.
Right, drug infection, sexual contact, mother to child, which is slim to none, blood transfusion hadn't happened in years. So that we're gonna cancel those out. Let's just say sex and drug intravenous. I still think, even if it was drugs, I still say if I say I'm HIV positive, just say, "Oh, okay, whatever. I apologize," or live strong. Hold on, I'm almost through. Just like a person who has cancer, we never ask a person, "How did you get cancer? How did you get diabetes? Did you eat too much sugar? Is it family? Is it what?" We just don't ask that question.
It's a different thing,
it's
though.
Different because
I mean, but what's the problem with asking a question that you want to know the answer to? Maybe somebody really doesn't know how you can contract HIV. So, how did you get it?
How did I get it? I got it sexually. Okay, I get you. I just think that common sense tells us that you get HIV through sex. I think the question is, sometimes when people ask that question is, how did you get it? Who did you get it from? What were you doing? And that's not, for me, I think that's inappropriate, and I think that's just not right when you don't do the same thing for other people who have ailments.
So why are you trying to compare compare HIV to cancer and everything?
I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm saying it's in the same category as a disease.
Okay.
Diseases people get, we never ask them. But for this one, right? For people who have HIV, we know you get it through sex. That's the number one cause. Okay. Number one way.
But there is different ways to get it.
Sex and
so you rather somebody just assume whoever is HIV positive, y'all all got it from sex. So somebody should just assume instead of asking. I'd rather somebody ask about it. Like, where'd you get it from?
That's fine. I think it's just an inappropriate question. It is. It's an inappropriate question. It is. I just think that it's none of your business. Who, where, why. They're
not asking who. They're asking how did you get it. They're not asking you who did you have sex with. They're not saying that.
Well, what else? What else are they saying?
They ask you how did you get it.
I got it through sex.
That's it. Thank you. And that's all you got to say. You ain't got to be detailed about the situation.
You're right. All I'm saying is it is.
I hear what you're saying, B.
Yes.
I hear what you're saying.
Thank you. I love you. We're going to keep going back. And she just saying that because.
Just saying, what you bothered for? People ask us questions all the time about HIV. Sometimes the question be like, don't you? And some of the questions be like, shouldn't you know that? I mean, but
maybe that's the reason why people don't encourage, because of the stigma that people, or questions that people throw that way. Maybe I don't want to encourage. Well, for me, I didn't want to encourage because I felt as if people would say, "Oh, you were a whore. You got it this way. You got it that way." When it's not relevant how I got it. I got it. So for me, I think the encouragement comes when people stop with the questions and stop with the stigma and get the education. Now, I understand what you're saying. Ask questions.
No question is a dumb question. I think you should be able to ask the question.
Okay.
Because you don't.
You better live in that cliche of no questions a dumb question, girl. Because you asked me a dumb question,
know.
I'm gonna look at you and I'm say, girl, that might be a
little dumb.
I'm gonna answer.
It's dumb to you, but it ain't dumb to them.
Right.
Stupid,
I'm just like, oh, you gotta cuss me. I'm cussing.
Shut up, because you stupid.
How'd you get it? Bye, y'all. I love you. This is a great topic. I love when we go back and forth, girl.
Bad.